Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you're recording.
Very professionally. This is TeamMADE training, or not TeamMADE training, TeamMADE call. It is October 5th, right? Yep. See,
Six.
that's 6. That's the life I've been living. October 6th. It's my niece's birthday today. And I wanted to thank you guys for coming on here. And we have, first and foremost, as Mick put in the team page, a friend. He's become a really good friend of ours. Actually, more Mick. For all of you ladies out there that have husbands that, watch you kind of do this on the sidelines, I don't think Mick's on the call. I'll text him. But for him to tell you the amazing friendships that he has been able to, so make sure that you're muted, please. The friendships that he's been able to generate from me deciding to become a coach is freaking crazy. When him and I, not to get off on a tangent, but when him and I were dating, he had a friend named Lance, and I could not stand his friend, so much so that I almost called it off. And so I never really liked his friends. And now, like Robert, I absolutely adore Robert and a lot of the friends that Mick has found through Beachbody, because Beachbody attracts such good people. And so we had the opportunity to just on a whim go to Cabo and help them celebrate their 19th wedding anniversary. And I asked him to be on the call because he has, number one, he has an incredible story of where he came from and where he is now. But also, I think it would be great for you guys to hear if you will share what it was like to be a founding coach. Because for me, honestly, knowing corporate and knowing the faces behind the brand and knowing where we came from and how we started makes me feel way more connected to this company. And so I think if you hear firsthand from someone who was there in the trenches, in the chaos, when they actually said, go, you'll get I just always sit there and listen to that story because I think it's the coolest thing ever. And then he's also going to be very raw and uncensored and tell you to do it, right? Just do it. So he's been a millionaire for years and years and years. He hit 15-star before I did. He's a very personal, close friend with Mr. Tony Horton. He has 2 boys and an amazing wife, Melissa Hudgens. She's a gem. He's a lucky man. And they've been married, like I said, 19 years. So he's got it all. And so I think you really should listen to him. And I'm going to give you the mic, Robert. And I really, truly appreciate you taking the time out of being out at your ranch to talk with us and sharing us a little bit about yourself.
Well, awesome. And thank you so much for that introduction. And Melissa and I, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Yes, but I can't see you. Can you guys see him?
There you go. Okay. So, just first and foremost, everybody, just housekeeping, if you would, 2 things. Number one, up in the top right-hand corner of your thing, you should be able to press speaker view. And that way you're not looking at the Brady Bunch squares all over your screen. So you can actually do that on your view. And then that way, and if you're like me, I get distracted by who I'm watching. So there may be somebody picking their nose or chasing their kids. Or if you're like me and I kind of look around, I'm sitting here as she's talking, as she's talking, 2 little bitty mice just run right across my patio here. I'm out at our ranch here, just me and one of my dogs, and just kind of enjoying the day and working and stuff like that. So anyway, I digress. There he is. He is cool, and my dog's like freaking clueless. Go get him, you idiot. Anyway, so. Golly, what good are you? Anyway, I guess that means if there's mice around here, there's not a whole lot of snakes right here, and I'd rather have the mice than the snakes. So anyway, sorry, distracting. Number 2, besides that is I want to ask permission, and I'd asked Melissa permission to be able to do this, but I want to ask permission tonight to talk to you guys. Number one, like, business owners, like adults. I don't want to kind of tiptoe around different things. And so whenever Melissa asked me to be on this call, I said, absolutely, I'd love to be, but can I just be real? And she said, please. And so I want to be able to do that. And so anyway, let me first kind of give you an idea of who I am. And Melissa did a great job of kind of telling you a little bit about my wife and I and who we are and where we come from. And I mean, I can't tell you of two more genuine, people that I just love and respect the most than Melissa and Mick. And, Mick and I have had some harrowing near-death experiences together multiple times. But these two guys, you know, because you're on her team and you're on this call, that that they are the salt of the earth and the type of people that the first people you want to call if you ever are in trouble or ever need anything. And so, I mean, it's just where their hearts are. There's another rat. Anyway, so squirrel. But let me introduce myself. First of all, been married, like she said, been married for 19 years. Just 2 days ago, that's how I knew it was the 6th. And so, known her for a little over 20 years. And I'm going to tell you that things have been great and things have really sucked. Okay, and let me tell you, when we got married, I had a job where I was making about $80,000 a year. Now this was 97. We just started in 19 years. So 97 is when we got married. We met each other in 96. And I was making good money, $80,000 a year as a technical recruiter. Melissa was in the hotel and restaurant management business and then left that job to work for her dad's sales and marketing company where she was making 6 figures. And, and then I left that job and actually started my own recruiting company and was making 6 figures myself. And it was great. But there was something that was always that I wanted more than being a technical recruiter. Plus, Nortel was about to lay off tons of people, so was MCI, and my job was going to be useless. And so I could kind of see that writing on the wall too. So I had always wanted to be a fireman. And Melissa, God bless her soul, she's fantastic, said, go do what you really want to do. I mean, she was making some good money and allowed me to go do that. And so I did. I think much to her chagrin, I think she thought it was going to be like a fad or a phase, and I really wasn't going to follow through with it. Like the second place I tested for, I got the job. And, I loved it. I loved riding in the big red truck. And I even at the time loved being a paramedic. But we ended up moving to Iowa just for a slower lifestyle, raise our kids in a small town. Why we picked Iowa, I don't know. Sure as hell didn't go during the winter time. But I'll tell you, I was only able to be a paramedic out there. And let me kind of tell you a little bit about, especially private service paramedics. I could cut a hole in your throat to help you breathe. I was trained to put a hole in your chest to put a tube in if I needed to. I could crack your chest open if that was the only way I could get something into you. Let's see, I could breathe for you. I could shoot drugs to save your life, or I could shoot drugs to kill you, depending upon what side of the bed I woke up on. And really, I did it for $13.86 an hour. Let me tell you, people at McDonald's made more money than what I made at right now. And so, so when you're doing it for the love of the game. But when you're doing it for the love of the game and you're not able to really support your family, because by this time moving to Iowa, Melissa owned a clothing store, and it was more of a hobby than a business because she sure as hell didn't make any money. And when we were living off of my income, things went from, okay, we're living the high life, multiple six-figure income, lifestyle, but then our income is down here. Things really did this quickly. And we started struggling mightily. And I don't know if any of you have ever been through this. I'm sure some of you have. Whenever you're struggling financially, there's nothing you can do. I mean, I'm sorry, they say money doesn't buy happiness. It sure makes it pretty freaking miserable when you don't have any. And we had 2 boys, and they were young. And so anyway, I was desperate when I took her. Whenever I asked for her hand in marriage, and I talked to her dad and said, "Hey, can I marry your daughter?" and all this other stuff. I promise I will take care of her. I'll treat her like the princess that she is. I will always provide for her. I'll be that rock that she needs. And then to go and sit in front of my father-in-law, because we were multiple, like $100,000 in debt. Yeah, I almost said 5 figures in debt, but we're actually close to $100,000 in debt with medical bills and this, that, and the other. And I had to sit across from her dad and ask for a loan because I couldn't pay property taxes. I couldn't pay insurance. I couldn't pay my son's medical bills. I couldn't pay these things. So I had to ask him for a loan. And if there are any guys on this call right now, man, that is just a, pardon my French, shitty place to be. I mean, to go from, because I basically wasn't doing what I promised him I would do. So, that was hard. And we had some tough times. But lo and behold, I had the opportunity to piss off my wife again and buy P90X on the internet. And it had just come out. And, she was actually teaching like classes, Group X classes, back then they were known as aerobics, that it just so we could get a discount on our health club membership because, I was overweight. I didn't like the way I felt, the way I looked. I was part of that white T-shirt club that they say. And, the white T-shirt club is the guys at the pool that are wearing the white T-shirts in the pool. So you can see everything underneath. They still have to wear it. Well, that was me. And I was the guy that didn't go if their more fit friends were at the pool because I sure as hell didn't want to be seen next to them. So I had that feeling about myself. So we were going to the club and everything. Well, it just wasn't working for me. I was looking for an ephedra-based fat burner because ephedra was the only thing that worked for me, and they had just banned it. So I was looking on the internet. I did a Yahoo search. And on the second page, I can tell you, Beachbody's SEO back then sucked. But on the second page, P90X was right there. And I always make the joke, but it's true. I was like, oh, that's got an X in it. That's got to be some really good stuff. So I clicked on it, and a one-page P90X site came up. It just popped up, but there was a button that said message boards, and those message boards allowed me to go in and actually talk to some people like Mark Briggs, like Tracy Morrow, like Doug Fitzgerald, who were in the test group for this product, and I was able to go, hey, is this legit? And they came back immediately to say yes. So I bought it. It was $360 back then. Maxed out a credit card to do that. Pissed off Melissa because she thought I would just wasted her money. And she told me I wasn't going to succeed. And let me tell you, she's an amazing woman. I'm going to make her sound like a witch a couple times, but it's done out of love. But, I mean, she was mad, and she thought I was going to fail. And the only reason I really succeeded in those 90 days when I'm doing those lunge, kickback, curl presses, and I think those blow in core synergistics or the plank to chaturanga run or my 15,000 pull-up or whatever it might be, the only reason it kept me going is because I was like going, I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to prove her wrong. And after 90 days, I had lost 8 inches off my waist. I lost 25 pounds. I lost 18% body fat, all that other stuff. But it wasn't about what I lost. It was about what I gained. And what I gained was I could take off the white T-shirt. I gained self-confidence. I gained being comfortable in my own skin. But also, I think anything that is more important than that is I gained the knowledge that if I committed to something, followed a plan, and followed through, that I could have some pretty killer results. And that not only went from P90X round 1, round 2 to round 21, that also went into every other part of my life, whether it be the way that my marriage is, the way that I treat and raise my kids, and the way that I run my business. And so anyway, Melissa let me go meet Tony Horton at one of his fitness camps because I kind of thought he was some sort of demigod, and she wanted to say that he's a dude, puts his pants on the same way you do. And so I got to go be at one of his camps, and that's where I got to meet one of my best friends in the world, Mark Briggs, and we got to just busting each other like this, because he's a cop, I'm a fireman and paramedic, and Tony wanted to be a part of it. Tony became a good friend of ours real quick, and then Carl just happened to drop in, and I know that I'm trying to give you the Reader's Digest version, but Carl just happened to drop in on a whim. Wasn't announced, wasn't planned. And I came up to him, and by this time I was in the original P90X infomercial because they wanted my videos and all that stuff. And I said, hey, Carl, I'm Robert Hudgens. Hey, I will clean out your trash cans. I just want to work for Beachbody. What you guys have done for me has been amazing. I'll do whatever you need, sweep floors, whatever. And he goes, man, I got something up my sleeve that I've had something that I've had you in mind for. I'm going to give you a call in a couple of months. And so I was like, cool, awesome, and I go home and tell Melissa, and she's like, bullshit, he's not going to call you, and so, I mean, and I went from real quick, but hey, we were realistic. Think about all the crap that we had going on in life. I mean, I just spent money that we really didn't have to go meet these people, and for him to say that he's a big CEO of a big multi-million-dollar company, yada, yada, yada. Well, 2 months almost to the day, he called me back. He called me and said, hey, dude, I want you, and if you want to bring Melissa along, bring her out. I want to fly you guys out to Beverly Hills. I want you to check out what this thing is. And so that's how we got to be, that was the founders meeting. And it was basically, I had no freaking idea what they were talking about. I had no idea what this business was. I didn't know what it meant to be a coach other than I'd already been doing it on the message boards. I was doing it for free. And I was passionate about the products because of what they did for me. And the 50 to 60 people at the hospital and throughout the areas that I was that had bought programs that I got no money for, but that had done it and gotten results, and how awesome it felt whenever I got to see them do that. And so that's what I kind of figured, if I could at least make a little bit of money, but more importantly, get that 25% discount, it was going to make a big difference in my life. And so anyway, fast forward through some amazing mentors and people that really told me that I needed to get my crap together and help me to take advantage of the opportunity that I had with Team Beachbody. I've been able in the last 10 years, yes, it's 10 years in December. In the last 10 years, we've been able to be able to pay all of our debts within the first 2 years of this business, to being the third superstar diamond in the company, to being in the third or fourth millionaire in the company, to making a multiple $1 million income. Of course, it's a little disclaimer, it's all depending upon you. To sitting out here on my 163-acre ranch with a pool behind me, living life and drinking a beer. So anyway, but I didn't leave it in the bottle. That's tacky. But how did that happen? Well, let me tell you how that happened. Early on, when we got into this business, one of the things that I was fervently doing, and I hate to read, but one of the things that I fervently did is said, if I'm going to do something and be successful, just like I was in paramedic school, which I busted my rear end, I was interested in it. It was a way I was going to make a living. I was a valedictorian of the school because that was a mindset I had. This is a business. I need to read what I can, study what I can. Well, when this came along, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what network marketing was, relational marketing was. I didn't know anything about compensation. I didn't know what a binary plan was. I didn't know what any and all of this stuff was. And so I was bound and determined to learn as much as I can. So I started reading books. One of the first things that I read when I started reading books was this: if you want this thing to grow, you have to grow people. You have to, and the way that I put it is, I lay the eggs, I hatch the eggs, I teach them to fly, I kick their ass out of the nest. And that's really the way that I built my business. And because I built my business that way, while I may have fewer people in my organization than a lot of coaches in this company, I have a little over 50,000. But in that, I would say that I probably have one of the largest groups of superstar diamonds, 10-star diamonds, and some of the highest income earners in general in my business. And I'm not saying that's because of me, but what I'm saying is I allowed those people to be able to fly. I stopped doing this, and they stopped relying on me for their success, and they got their ass out of the nest. And while that hurts a little bit because they're holding their own meetings, and I'm not having 15,000 people at my pre-summit meeting and stuff like that, and while that hurts a little, at first it did, but it's pretty awesome whenever the business runs itself. Because that's really why you're doing this. Let me ask you, in this business, why did you join? Why did you join? If you join and you're sitting here on a Thursday night, listen to me, go on, you're interested in building a business. If not, you need to get another hobby. I'm sure The Voice is on. I know baseball's on. Go watch that, because I'm not interested if this is just going to be a hobby for you. But if you're looking to make a business, then you're here to build a business. And what you don't want to do is rely on somebody else to build your business for you. And always be asking, what do I do next? What do I do next? Because that's not a business. That's a job. Okay? When somebody has to tell you how to do something, that's a job. But when you have your business, you are the boss. So what does that mean? You have to freaking own it. You have to own what you do. You can't rely on this wonderful woman sitting in front of you on this call to do this shit for you, because that's not fair to you. It's surely not fair to her. But it's not fair to you, because what happens? You always will have to go, okay, where's Melissa? Hang on. She's on the 700th trip this year, so she's unavailable. So therefore, I can't grow my business. She's shooting videos. Oh, wait, no, hang on. She was in Ecuador yesterday. Now she's in Cabo. Hang on now. Oh, wait, now she's like in Timbuktu, or she's in the back of an elephant, or wherever she might be. Hell, they'll be out at the ranch. Your ass is not going to get a hold of her, because I'm not going to let her have her phone. I'm going to throw it in the pool. But what I'm saying is, when you can't get a hold of her, what's going to grow your business? You're going to freak. That's not fair to you. So I'm going to go through, and I've preached on this so many times, and I've got notes galore. And so if you see me glance over, I got to stick to my notes. We're going to be here all freaking night. I'm going to get wired. We're done. And I got a baseball game to get to. And actually, I got to start shooting armadillos out here in a little bit too. But sorry, people who like animals. At least I'm not gonna kill a bobcat. I like those now. Anyway, let me kind of put it in a nutshell what this is about. And there'll be some stuff that is really valuable here. So not to toot my own horn, but take some freaking notes. Because here's the reason why I want you to take notes. And here's the reason why I want you to go back and watch this recording. Is because you're going to be doing something and you're going to miss, I think he caught, did you get it? He caught one of the rats. Anyway, so what, I want you to plagiarize the shit out of this. I want you to take all of this as much, hey, wine, there you go. I want you to just do this, because when you grow your business, when you're leading your own calls, when you are the person doing what Melissa's doing, because you need to be, you should be, I want you to take this stuff that I'm going to tell you verbatim and teach your people. There's no such thing as original material. There's no, listen to comedians, listen to anything. And everything from Darren Hardy to Jeff Olson to whoever is either Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar or Ernest Nightingale. It's all the same stuff. So take this stuff, use it for your own, take freaking credit for it, and be the leader of your group. So anyway, I digress. But basically, what you got to have, and you can kind of tell I'm passionate about it, but you got to have passion in this business if you really want to own it and make it yours. Because it grows, because you truly understand that there is an absolute life change in this business. Because the cool thing about Team Beachbody is that our culture is not driven by material stuff and material possessions and the desire to accumulate, even though I just told you about sitting on a ranch or told you about all this other stuff. And hey, believe me, I like nice cars. I like cool stuff. And there's nothing wrong with having that. But that's not what this business is built on. If you haven't gotten that yet, just look around and listen to people. But we're driven by the change that we offer to those who join our team. Let me stop and tell you one of the things I talked to Melissa about, because we sat down with dinner and I actually asked her questions that I don't know how many times she's been asked before, but I really wanted to get inside of her head and kind of find out what was going on. And one of the things that she absolutely loves, because she could stop doing this, she could hit the pause button right now and she'll still be making money. She could hit the pause button and not worry about making top 10 anymore. She could hit the pause button and she'll be good. But what drives her And what feeds her soul is the change that she sees in you guys, and the change my son is trying to call me. My bad. Decline him again. He needs to. Oh, my wife must not have told him. I've got to text him.
It's by me.
This is killing me. The kid's persistent. Can you text Melissa to tell Ty that I'm on a call? Anyway, thank you. So, hey, persistence. He's my boy. Anyway, that being said, that's what feeds her soul. That's why she loves what she does. It's not because she gets to drive in a sweet car. No, she does. And it's not because she gets to live in a sweet house, because she does. It's not even because she gets to be in all these trips and do all this stuff or go and be in the top 10. That's not it. It's because that's what feeds who she is. And because she loves the accountability, because accountability is huge in the lives of those who really want to be great. Because many of those who are trying to in life to overcome, whether it be physical or emotional or even spiritual issues, those people need accountability, and those are the people who you need and who we need on our team. And if we're truly going to understand what this is all about, we got to make it our mission, and we got to realize that that's the mission that we're on. And if we realize that, we're going to succeed, because we are rewarded for choosing to affect the lives of others, of those who might be searching for help and who really want something more. And it's in this vision of doing this that you're going to realize that when you have this and when you take this accountability, you take the ownership of changing those lives, that this vision that we have, you're an unstoppable force. That's why Melissa is so successful. And that's why she's unstoppable, is because she knows that's her passion. And she owns that. And she owns knowing that she has the opportunity, and what she holds is a gift and can change so many lives. And those that choose to own this responsibility and own this mission will soon be on a crazy journey. And that's why I want you guys to be here. And shut up. And you won't be able to go a day without looking for someone who you can come across, you can change their life. And I'm not saying you're going to be standing in a shopping line at Sam's Club or Walmart and try to go, hey, you want to hear about Team Beachbody? No, you will just want to create relationships because you have the passion of helping people. Okay? That's just the way you are going to think. And whenever you start to own this, you are going to be, it's not done by accident. It's there for a reason. The only thing you got to do is you don't got to go out to do Beachbody. You just have to be alert to life. Life happens all around us, and if you are alert to life and you are alert to those who are around you who are asking for help, you can have success beyond your wildest dreams. Because what we'll find is when you do that, and you do that enough times, and you teach your people to be alert to life, your leaders will rise up. Because we have a culture in Team Beachbody where leaders rise up, where leaders choose success, where they choose to get in the game and they choose to win. And we as a team are only as strong as the people who want to step up and lead. And that's why I'm getting inside your shorts about, is now because we have over 500,000 coaches in Team Beachbody. Morgan just left the meeting. I guess I pissed her off. Anyway, you've got to be committed, because we need people to lead this business. We need people who are committed to win. And we need people who want to draw the line, who are going to draw the line and say, never again am I going to make an excuse for where I am not. Because that is what I see so much of. Oh, I'm not in Success Club because, it's just too hard to sell 3 challenge packs in a month. Oh, I'm not elite because I'm just really growing my wife's business. I'm not, I'm not 15 star or a 10 star. I just, my kid's in soccer and I just can't miss those practices, and I can't miss the 17 games they have this week because, I'm just really going to be a part of their life. I'm going to sacrifice their college fund and their future so I can watch them play Pee Wee soccer right now. I'm going to sacrifice everything that I want in life for bullshit stuff that can wait. Let me tell you, and you can ask my boys, how much of a greater part that I am in their life now than when I was working my day job, my regular job. Okay? I wasn't. And if you're doing the same things, you're not. Now, you may be a stay-at-home mom, and that's awesome. And you should get the high five award for that. But you know what? I have stay-at-home moms that make 7 figures in this business a year. So, what's your excuse? What I'm saying, and I know that, your baby's newborn. That's awesome. They got to sleep too. You can build this business in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day while they're sleeping if you're consistent and you own it. And you don't rely on Melissa to do it for you. Because here's the deal. Your threshold in this business is truly what you limit yourself with. That's it. The only limits that you're going to have in what you do is by what you limit right here. And if you don't think that you can grow this without Melissa's help or without your coach's help or without whatever help, corporate's help, please don't rely on corporate to build your business because they're not going to. Their job is to have you do it. That's why we're a network. But what I'm saying is don't rely on others to do your business for you because they won't. It's up to you to own it. It's up to you to get out and do it. So you've got to grow. You've got to have a plan. You got to plan out what you're going to do. What does that mean? You got to have set hours. You got to get your freaking calendar out, whether it be on your iPhone or a paper calendar, and say, here's my time to quiet time. Here's my time that I'm going to work out. Here's my breakfast time. Here's my time with my kids. Here's my beach buddy time. Here's my husband-wife time. Here's my sleep time. And you plan that out of when you're going to do it. You plan out who you're going to talk to. You plan out what posts you're going to post. You plan out that type of stuff, but you have to have a plan. Just like P90X and why I was successful, the only reason I wasn't because I had to go in there, I'm going to do chest and tries today or back and buys tomorrow. I followed the freaking plan 21 times in a row. But I was successful because I followed the plan. That's what you got to do too. You got to have a plan. This business is not going to work haphazardly. It's never going to grow. I've never seen one that worked that grew haphazardly. You always have to have a plan. And number 2, you got to grow leaders. So how do you do? I don't know. I don't know how to grow leaders. I've never grown leaders before. Then learn. Read a book. 15 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. John Maxwell. Awesome book. Hell, just put leadership, personal development in Google, GTS, and forget that stuff. And find out what it is and then start reading. What's it do? Basically, here's what you do, how you grow leaders. Number 1, become one yourself. Because if you become one yourself and you figure out and you find out what it is and how you became a leader, it's much easier to recognize that quality in other people. Well, I really don't have anybody who wants to step up. Well, then find other people. But sooner or later, you're going to have to challenge your people to lead, to step up, and to do something more. Because we grow leaders. We grow the numbers. Numbers don't grow with immature leaders. Your business will only grow as much as you can allow it to, as much as this will let it. My income grew when this grew. Not my head, because I already had an ego, but the stuff inside of it. So, success only comes to those who are prepared for it. Why do you think lottery winners go broke? Professional athletes go broke so quickly because they weren't ready for success. It only comes to people who are ready for it, and that comes through personal development. And your numbers won't grow if you're an immature leader. You can only change. You can only own your life and work, and that's up to you. And this is your responsibility because the greater leader, the greater the numbers. And you have to commit. You have to decide. You have to figure out if you're going to choose to be one of the leaders in Team Beachbody, one of the leaders in TeamMADE. That's up to you to choose that. Melissa's not going to choose who her leaders are. That's freaking up to you to do it. Okay? You want to say, put me in, coach. I want to be on that field. Okay? But you gotta find that out and do that, because this company needs you. TeamMADE needs you. United States freaking needs you. Guys, listen. The next president isn't going to do shit for you. It's up to you to do it for yourself. Okay? And so, what I want you to do and what I want you to think about after we get off this call is, number one, how fantastic of a speaker I am. But number two is that, and I'm kidding about that, but number two is, what are you going to do? Are you committed to this thing? Because it's something you really have to be committed to. What does commitment mean? That means that you are not going anywhere, and come hell or high water, you're going to fly out of that nest. You're going to go, Melissa was a great mentor, but I'm ready to take it to the next level. And so you have to be committed to doing that. And you need to be the greatest you that you can be. And as Spurgeon said, you need to light yourself on fire and let the world watch you burn. Because that is what a leader does. A leader gets hot, a leader burns bright, and everybody sees it. And when people, just like they did in Exodus, the pillar of fire, as they're going towards the promised land, people follow fire. And guys, the company needs you. TeamMADE needs you. The world needs you. They need more leaders like yourself to step up and do something special. And if you do that, I can promise you without a shadow of a doubt, you'll be rich beyond your wildest dreams. And I'm not talking monetarily. That's just a byproduct. And so with that, then you can enjoy the quality of lifestyle that you always wanted to have. Your kids can have their mommy and daddy back. Your kids will get tired of you being around so much. And truly, you'll be able to look back and go, man, I had an amazing mentor in Melissa and TeamMADE. But look around, it's pretty freaking cool that I was able to do this. So guys, I challenge you to freaking own it. Just step up and grab it and take responsibility for who you are and for your team and for your growth. And you know what? I can't wait to be able to be sitting next to Melissa, because she's not on stage, because her people have outpaced her. And we're sitting in the back of the room. She's crying her eyeballs out. And she's like going, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine. Because that's what it's all about. I can't wait for that. I know it's going to happen. So make it happen.
You gave me so many goosebumps. And I don't know, Robert, if you know, but you've had an amazing light show behind you the whole time.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. This is the best spot. We've got an unobstructed view of sunrise and sunset, and then when storms roll in, it is sick. It is like awesome out here.
That's beautiful. Well, I wanted, if you had a moment, I just wanted real quick to,
sure.
I didn't do Melissa do justice, because she also was inducted in the Millionaires Club. Am I right?
You are right.
So both of them have hit the $1 million mark. And will you share briefly how that happens? I mean, are you totally separate? Do you work together? How did you manage that period? I mean, I bow down to you. And two, what was the process like?
Well, when we initially started this, it's kind of funny. I was kind of the fitness guy. Melissa was sort of the business person, and then we kind of started feeding off each other. And originally, because of where we were in this business, I said, hey, let's build my business up first. I'll help you build yours. Let's build mine to diamond. I'm going to turn around and we'll build yours to diamond. But even in the beginning, and she'll tell you, she didn't want to do this thing. She was like, this is not my identity. This is not who I am. But I will support you in any way that I can. And so that's kind of the way that we did it. She supported me. She was the wind beneath my wings. I mean, she was there, and like, all the events we put on in Dallas all throughout the years and stuff, and she was the brains behind that. Me, I'm just the idiot on stage. She's the one twisting the crank. I'm the dancing monkey. I mean, that's and really that's how it was when it comes to all that. But then there came a time when she goes when she says, you know what, I really want to hard charge this too. And now let me go back and say that when she made that decision, she was already making, six figures, but it wasn't until she really made that decision and really took the bull by the horns, because she didn't own her business before then. She was part owner in my business. And so she really didn't take ownership of our business until then. And in that, she became voracious in attending any training and gobbling up any information that she could, whether it be from you or from any and everybody throughout the company, and then books and audio CDs and all this stuff. But she said, you know what, because I had already gotten everything. I'd already done all the stuff. I'd climbed to the top of the mountain. I'd reached the peak of the mountaintops. And so, and I'd always wanted her to do it. I'd always wanted her to take part in it. So she made that decision to go just all out with this thing. And I started getting to be her sidekick, which was awesome. But we, and since then, I'd like to say that we really built her business together. But no, man, it's freaking all her. She's amazing, and she can rule a crowd, man. I mean, I don't want to piss her off. I mean, when she gets a group of women together, and that's that's her target market. It's just amazing women, and she's, just seeing how she's been able to grow them and the leadership that she has had, and how that feeds her soul and makes, and that's her identity, and how that really just, seeing her light bulb come on from that. I mean, it was just like awesome. And dude, she doesn't need me. She doesn't need me. She makes awesome money in and of herself. I'm just arm candy now. And so, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this thing, is I get to be the guy that supports his wife. Now, granted, I'm still in the business, but she's freaking killing it. So no, when I had the planes, trains, and automobile story to get to Summit this year. It was hell on earth. Guys, we came separately. I was with my son at a college baseball tour that he was on, and playing baseball for colleges. And so I was with him, and I flew in from a small town, and I got in, and I was like going, I'm about to charter a jet. I got to be there. When she walks across stage as a millionaire. I got to be there. And got there just in time. And it was all I could do to hold the phone up to get the video of it, because I had tears freaking streaming down my face to be able to be part of that. It was awesome. It was awesome.
For sure. And I could be wrong. I'm really bad at this, but did she win the humanitarian award?
She did. She's really not that nice. It was all a ruse.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
No, she did. Let me go on a tangent here. She won the humanitarian award, I guess it was a couple of years ago. And that is what richness is being able to do more for others because you have more. Because they say, what is it? And I forgot scripture, and I can't believe I forgot it, but where much is given, much is required, that type of thing. But really, one of the things that Melissa and I really decided early on is the more that we get, the more we're going to give. We're going to truly, because we figured we're never going to outgive God, so we're just going to continue to give. We're going to continue to give. We're going to continue to give. And what we've always found is that every time we have given more, we've always gotten more. It's just weird that it's worked that way now. One of the things that we do on a yearly basis is at the end of every year, if we can do it on December 31st, that's great. If not, we'll try to do it around depending on schedules. But we always sit down and we always go through. We go to a nice dinner and we sit across from each other and we have our goals that we had from the previous year, and we see how we did compared to those goals. And then we sit down, because we've already gone through it, and we go through our goals for the next year. And it's something that we've done from pretty much day one in this business, was doing that so we could all be on the same page and try to row the boat in the same direction. But one of the things that's on there, we always go physical, mental, like personal development, the business, and we have a spiritual and a giving goal. And, and so the giving goal is probably the one that I get the most jazzed about, because I say this with utmost humility, because I don't want to say, hey, I give a lot, because that's not what giving's about. That's not giving. That's just showing off. But that's what I get the most joy out of, is doing that. And to have Melissa being able to get that humanitarian work, because she's flown over to Africa so many times, and in doing so has taken thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over there to help build schools and orphan care centers that her sister currently runs as a director over in Mansa, Africa, and the support that she has done over there to taking clothes and shoes and just boxes and suitcases full of them, to working at shelters here, to what we have done with our meetings, from turning them into, hey, everybody come in and let's work out, to giving fests where we're literally filling up the back of her SUV and the back of my truck and still be overflowing with toiletries and toothpastes and soaps and stuff that we are able to give. And it's not because you know what? That's what it's all about. I mean, that's truly what it's all about. If you're not giving, if you've been blessed and you're not giving, you're just a freaking creep. I mean, you really are. And that's why I just think that's probably what she's the most proud of. That was, being a guy, yeah, I mean, that charges me up and everything. And her walking around stage and getting the Millionaires Club was awesome. But when that's the biggest trophy that she has. And that's the center point, because to her, that means that she's doing something right, and that is probably the coolest thing that I think anybody could get, is that over, unfortunately nobody got it this year. I guess we got a bunch of stingy people. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I actually think they might have done away with it, which is sad, because it was absolutely my favorite.
Well, you're on a cab, mate, or you were, so, make it happen.
I've got no say. So Mick and I are texting back and forth about you, and he's funny.
Tell the moron to get on the call. He's not supporting his wife and his buddy.
I think he is on. But if
thank God he's on mute. Good.
Yeah, well, we're screwed if I let him talk. So we won't let that happen. But
yeah.
We have lots of calls, Robert, as you do too. And there's just nothing like having a seasoned coach on a call, because a lot of the coaches that are on these calls, they're newer, they're 2 years or newer mostly. And for them to hear from you and what you've been able to accomplish and how much you've been able to give, and the change that happened because you stuck to it when times were tough, I think you hear from the newer coaches and their cute little systems that they're doing that are working right now. But when you hear the longevity and the consistency and the passion and the shared, love that you have for this, I just, this has got to be probably my favorite call. And I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on it and really telling it like it is. You didn't cuss near as much as I thought you did. So thank you.
Well, damn it. I'll have to try harder next time.
Son of a bitch. But
go ahead. Awesome. And it's been my pleasure. I mean, I love it. I was honored that you asked me, and was excited to do it. And can I just say one last thing, and then I'll shut up, is over the past 10 years, I know you've got a lot of newer coaches, been here for two years or less. And guys, let me just tell you, it's not going to be easy. Building this business is simple. It's not easy. It's simple, okay? There are 4 things you got to do. You got to invite. You got to be proof that the product works. You got to do personal development, and then you got to recognize. That's it. I can even pan it down even further than that. 4 things you got to do. Julie Voris taught me this. I'm going to plagiarize it and say I did it, but I'm going to give her credit. But number 1, you got to do a workout, start to finish, day 1 to day whatever. You don't vary it, but you got to do it, because how can you talk to other people, be passionate about our products if you're not doing the freaking workouts? So do a workout every day. Why? Because it's your job. You get paid to do it. Number 2, drink a shake. How can you talk to people about our bellwether Keystone product that runs this business that we're all about if you're not doing it yourself? Why? Because it's your job. You get paid to do it. Drink a shake. Number 3, read a book. Okay? Read a book. Why? Because like I said earlier, and if you're just getting on the call, go back and watch the recording. But if you're not reading a book, you're not going to work. You're going to fail. Done. It's your job. You get paid to do it. Read a book. And number 4, talk to people about it. That's all you got to do. Talk to people about the first 3 things. But here's the deal. It's simple. It's not easy. And in the last 10 years, we've gone through so much crap that most of people wanted to quit, myself included. But how stupid would I have been? Because what if I told you, if you started today, and let's say you signed up today, you heard this awesome speaker was going to be on a call tonight, and you just had to be on it. And I'm kidding when I say that, but you had to be on it, but you just started today. And if I told you that, you know what, because I think you can do it so much faster than I did it. But in 7 years, you'd be a millionaire. You have to work your ass off, but you'll be a millionaire in 7 years if you just stick to it and follow the plan. Would you do it? I would hope you would say yes. If you'd say no, you just might as well cancel today, because we don't need you. But if you would say yes, then do it, because I promise you, it can happen if you work your butt off and if you stick to it, follow the plan, and follow through. Some amazing things can happen. And that's the only reason that I'm here, is because I'm too stubborn to quit, and I followed the plan and I followed through. And because of that, it's here. But I implore you, quit bothering Melissa. I'm just kidding. She didn't ask me to say that. But take ownership of yourself. I want to spend more time with these people, and she's never able to because she's always dealing. No, I'm just kidding. But I digress. But really, take ownership of yourself. Be the leader that you've meant to be. Really want to do it. Take charge. Fly your ass out of the nest and get up on stage and let me and Melissa sit in the back crying because you're up there.
That perfect. Thank you so much, Robert. I want you to enjoy your beer. I want you to turn around and watch that beautiful light show. Watch your dog chase some rats. And I promise
I'm going to blow some armadillos out of the sky.
No.
Hell yes. Nick, get out here. Let's kill some armadillos and pigs. They're tearing up my ranch.
Right?
Yeah.
They're good little suckers. Thank you guys. Thank you, TeamMADE, for being on. I really appreciate it. You guys all give Robert a nice big wave. Tell him thank you.
Can't see anybody but you.
Oh, well, I'm doing it for him. Can you see my nice hotel? Well,
yeah,
you guys,
that's creeping me out back there, by the way.
It's a crazy hotel. But I'll let you guys go. Love you all. Thank you, Robert. I just adore you. Have a great Thursday night. Good night.
See you guys.